And then for just for ease of transition, if you want to throw your yoga strap or your TheraBand just kind of towards the front end of your mat, we are going to come down onto our mat, starting in a constructive rest position. So take your time as you come down and just give yourself a second to get cozy and comfortable on your mat. So feet about to the outer edges of your mat or to a comfortable distance that works good for your body's proportions. Maybe let your knees drop in towards each other, and then maybe let your arms come out in anatomical position. So about 45 degrees away from the side of the body with your palms facing up. And as you start to get comfortable on your mat, notice if there's any place that needs to be repositioned or if anything needs a little bit of a reconfiguration. But if if all is feeling good, soften through your collarbones, your chest, and your ribs. So think about letting that upper center of your body just get softer and heavier into the ground. And then let your awareness travel down just a little bit further. Maybe notice your abdomen, your belly button. And then if you're holding any tension in the belly, can you let your belly soften just a little bit, knowing that it's still a container that's holding things in and it's working with the breath, but can you allow just a little bit of softness to come in there? And then let your awareness come a little bit further down and notice the front of your hips and those hip flexors or the hip creases or the spaces where your front pockets would be. That's the place that we're kind of tuning into. So in constructive rest, one of the great things about this position is that it does soften that space, that hip flexor area. So there's just kind of a chilling out sensation. So if you can kind of feel and notice that space, if there is any efforting going on right where your front pockets would be, can you let go? Can you let your hip bones get heavy? Can you let your tailbone get heavy? Maybe even wrap around to the backside and notice your glutes. And if you're holding any tension there, can you let your glutes get soft and heavy? And then let your awareness travel up or down a little bit further to the tops of your thighs, the backs of your thighs. Notice if you're holding any tension there. Can you let your knees get a little softer and heavier in towards each other? And then maybe let your awareness come to your calves and your shins. Notice if there's any efforting going on there. And if so, can you let those places soften? And then let your awareness come down to your feet and your ankles and your toes. And then just notice. Notice your ankles first. If there's any repositioning that you need so that your ankles are a little bit more comfortable, take a second to do that. If you're gripping in your toes or your feet are trying to help support something that might be going on, can you let your toes and your feet soften? And then as you let your toes and your feet soften, can you let that softness come all the way up your legs, up your hips, up your belly, all the way up to the chest and the ribs? And then if you found that softer, gentler letting go sensation, just take a moment here to notice the physical action of breath in your body. Resisting that urge to rush away from this place. Just allow your body another moment or two just to be soft and heavy, a gentle movement of breath in your body. And then if it feels good to do so, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. We're going to take 3 nice deep breaths here. Take a nice generous inhale, fill your lungs up. Exhale nice and slow. Inhale a nice full deep breath. Exhale nice and slow. And then maybe even a bigger inhale here. Fill your lungs up. Bring that breath all the way to the bottom of the lungs, up to the collarbones. Exhale nice and slow. And then we're going to bring our arms right into our I Dream of Genie arms, or that nice little square across the chest. And then start by gently pulling your elbows side to side. We're just creating a little space here in the back of the body, the thoracic spine, and the shoulder blade area. So as we pull those elbows side to side, it feels like the work is happening through the front of the body, but we're trapping the skin and the connective tissue on the floor and then moving those muscles around the shoulder blades just to create a little space and opening through the thoracic spine. Take one more, pull the elbows side to side. And then we're going to release our handhold. Arms are going to come right into goalpost arms or cactus arms. And then once you've got your arms there, start to turn your head gently side to side. Notice your neck, notice your shoulder blades, and then notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw. Can you let your jaw be soft here as you turn your head side to side? Nice. One more turn of the head side to side, and then add your knees as well. So as you turn your head in one direction, knees are going to drop in the opposite direction. Everything meets in the center, and then you take it the other way. Take your time as you start to find a little fluidity in the hips. And then as you start to find these bigger movements in the body, tune in and notice. How are your hips feeling? How are your knees feeling? How are your ankles feeling? And how is your energy level this morning? Take one more rock of the knees side to side. And then as everything meets back in the center, walk your feet back in a little bit closer so feet are about hip width distance apart. Slide your hands down, flip the palms, palm facing down, and we're going to move right into pelvic tilt. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale to press your low back down. Inhale to release. Do that one more time. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release, and then pull your right knee up into your chest. Just one light little squeeze. Release that foot back down to the ground, switch to the other side. Pull your left knee into your chest, one light little squeeze, and then release that foot back down to the ground. Come back to the right leg. Pull the right knee into the chest, give a looser grip. Draw the knee in circles, go in one direction. Draw the knee in circles, go the other way. Keep a fairly loose hand hold, but holding onto that knee so your hands are going to actually be just creating a little weight on the knees. And then soft in that position, circle your foot in one direction. And then circle your foot the other way. Awesome. And then set that foot down, take your time, bring the left knee up, get a loose handhold, draw the knee in circles, go in one direction. Draw the knee in circles, go the other way. And then let those circles come to stillness. Just let the weight of your hands hover or hang onto your knees, and then circle your foot in one direction. And circle your foot the other way. Beautiful. And then from here, keep the left knee into the chest, pull the right knee into meet. Take both knees, draw them in circles, go in one direction. And then draw those knees in circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to find our way up to a seated position. So you're going to choose whatever seat is going to work best for you. And we're going to take a minute of Kapalabhati breath, or that nice pumping breath. So if you like, crisscross your legs, catch hold of the tops of the feet, and you'll rock and roll up in that way, or come up in any other way that works good for you. But start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that comfortable seat means to you. And then as you come up to that seat, just take a minute to find that nice tall lifted spine, soften your shoulders down. Think about pulling the ribs in towards each other just slightly. We want to keep this nice upright, lifted spine position. And then one hand to that solar plexus, and we're just going to see if we can start to find a little bit of that pumping breath. So a nice sharp exhale, and then just let your breath come back in. A nice sharp exhale, and then just let your breath come back in. One more just like just that to find the pump of your breath. Sharp exhale, let your breath come back in, and then your hands in whatever position works good for you. Sometimes I like a little clasp in front of my heart, so a little Ganesha mudra, or sometimes I also like to put a little fist in my palm, but that's just my personal practice. Some more traditionalists take a little wrap of the fingers, thumbs out, and hold the arms up, which can be very invigorating, but can also be a little bit efforting. So find a hand position that works good for you. And if you're really just focused on the breath, maybe sometimes just holding onto the knees works good. But it's going to be a nice little gentle inhale, and then we're going to start to find that pumping breath. It's a sharp exhale, a passive inhale, so we don't pay much attention to the inhale. Nice pumping breath. High blood pressure or low blood pressure, you're going to pay attention to your pace and your rhythms to make sure it's soft and gentle and works good for your body, because it can be a very heating breath. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute, and you're just going to find the rhythm that works best for you. Eyes closed or open, totally up to you. But here we go, just finding that nice pumping breath. One more pump of that breath, and then start to bring your breath back to a nice natural rhythm. Just give yourself a second to just recalibrate or come back to that nice rhythm of breath, slowing everything down, noticing how your body feels. And then as you start to find a more natural rhythm of breath, move right into your seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. And as you exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale and round your back. Take a few more breaths here, just finding your breath's rhythm. Take one more cycle of breath. And then we're going to find a nice, tall, neutral spine. Right hand's going to touch down to the ground. Left hand's going to reach up alongside the ear. 3 side bends here. Start with a light little side bend. And then maybe as you work into that second and third, you just work a little bit deeper into the side body, finding a little reach and opening through the side. And then when you feel ready, lift it up, take it over to the other side. 3 side bends, but start light. And then maybe as the second and third bend comes in, you go just a little bit deeper. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up, take it right into a seated twist. So left hand's going to find the right knee, right hand behind you. Think about getting nice and tall here. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release, take your twist over to the other side. Think about getting nice and tall with your inhale, softening with your exhale. Beautiful. We're going to release to center. Hands are going to find the knees. One cat-cow here. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. Inhale to a neutral spine, and as you exhale, twist to the right. Awesome. And then once you've found your handhold, you're going to release the back hand, reach it to shoulder height, flip the palm so it's facing up towards the ceiling, add a side bend. Reach that hand up alongside your ear. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in. Notice the right side of your body. Notice your ribs. Notice your shoulder and your armpit. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release, come back to center. Take one cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, take your twist over to the other side. Find your handhold. And then when you're ready, release that back hand to shoulder height. Flip the palm. Reach it up alongside your ear. Notice your side body. Notice your shoulder. Notice your armpit. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, release, come back to center. One more cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale to a neutral spine. And now we're going to release our hands from our knees, and we're going to start with just a light little tap. So we're going to alternate, like you're prepping your arms for that cow face pose. So right hand up over the shoulder, left hand under, left hand up above the shoulder, right hand under. So we're just going to find that little bit of fluid movement. Notice how your shoulders feel, and notice your natural reach here without any warming up. Cool. Take one more reach each side. And then if you like, grab your yoga strap or your TheraBand. We're going to take that strap in the right hand and then drop it down the back. Left hand is going to reach back, palm facing out, and you're going to find the other end of the strap. And then you're just going to walk your hands to a comfortable distance. Both hands are going to hold nice and firm. And then like you're doing that little floss of the back, or imagine that you're doing that little towel maneuver where you would dry off your back. So we're just going to kind of hold on firmly. Both hands are going to do a little work. We're lifting up and lowering down, just taking a few flosses of the arms up and down. Awesome. One more little floss up and down, and then see if you can walk your fingers or your hands just a little bit closer, finding a little bit closer grasp. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, take one good breath, and then soften your grip. Take a second to release your arms, shrug out your shoulders, and now we're going to do that to the other side. So take hold of your strap into your left hand, drop it behind you. Right hand's going to reach back, palm facing backwards. And then once you've found a little bit of a close grip, come back to that flossing. So there's that little bit of a lift up and down. So both arms are doing the work here. Beautiful. One more little floss up and down, and then find that neutral position. Walk your hands in just a little bit closer to each other. Lift your gaze slightly. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your grip, release your arms, shrug out your shoulders. And then if you want to use your strap later when we get into our flow, just set it kind of towards the back end of your mat. Once you've got yourself set up and your strap is out of your way, take it into an easy seated forward fold. Just walk yourself forward to a depth that feels good to you, and take a moment here to notice. Notice your low back, notice your knees, notice the outer edges of your hips. Take one more breath. And then come up nice and slow. We're just going to swing the legs out in front, lean back into your sits bones, take a couple swishes of those knees just to bring a little fluid back into the hips, a little movement into your knees. One more swish of those knees side to side, and then we're going to spin it around into a tabletop. So swing those legs around, come onto all fours in any way that works good for you, and then just take a second. So if you need to double cushion your mat or cushion your knees in any way that feels nice, or cushion your wrists, take a second to get yourself set up. And then once you found your way into your tabletop, we're going to start with that bop of the hips. So we're just going to drop our hips side to side. Notice the side of your glutes. Notice the side of your body where your hip meets your soft side. Notice your knees. Take one more bop of the hips side to side, and then we're going to take our table and draw it in some circles. Go in one direction. Take your table, draw it in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then let your table come back to center into a stillness. Slide your right leg back, toes curled under, about 3 rocks forward and back, just to create a little length in the back of the leg, and then wake up the calf and the heel. Awesome. We're going to come back to that leg, but for right now, slide that leg back in. We're going to slide the left leg back, take about 3 rocks forward and back. Nice. And then when you're ready, slide that leg back in. Now we're going to slide the right leg back. We're going to slide the right leg over to the left. So think reaching the foot just to the left corner of the mat. And then so that's slightly across the back of the body. And then a little C-spine. So hug your left shoulder towards your left hip. Look over your shoulders, see your right toes. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release the C-spine, slide that leg back in, take it over to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back. We're going to slide that foot over to the right corner of your mat. Hug in with that C-spine. So right shoulder towards right hip. Look over your shoulders, see your toes. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release. We're going to come back to the right leg, but now we're going to go a little bit further with that. So as you slide your right leg back and then over to the left, now you're going to see if you can go past the corner of your mat. So go way out, just as far as your body will allow. Now the left foot's going to swing with. So we're going to open up into a half circle. So left foot's going to pivot so that you get a little support, and then right hand's going to reach up and lift, and then we're going to open. So we're going to let that hand fall back. So there's this nice big arch through the whole side of the body. Reaching up, letting the arm fall back, let the shoulder fall back, look to the sky, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully, bring that hand back down to the ground, repivot your knees, come back into your tabletop, take a moment to reset, check in, make sure everything feels okay. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So left leg is going to slide back. You're going to slide it over to the right corner and then pass. So we're going to take it into that big wide swing and then let the right knee follow. So we're going to pivot that knee. Left leg is going to stay out nice and wide. Left hand is going to reach up. We're going to open up and let everything fall open. So you're going to let that shoulder fall back. Look up to the sky, nice big opening through the side body. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Float that hand back down to the ground, back into your tabletop position. Take a second in that reset, and then we're going to move right into puppy pose. So hips are going to stay in line with the knees. Walk your hands to the top edge of your mat. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. When you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully walk it back into your tabletop position. We're going to practice our cow face prep position just so we know how to get there. And then when we work into our flow, it'll be a nice, easy transition. So right leg is going to reach back, reaching out to hip height, and then take your left toes, swing them over to the right side of your mat. Tuck your right knee behind the left. So knees are stacked, toes pointing in opposite direction. Pull your butt back to your heels. And then when we go to full cow face pose, you'll just kind of roll all the way back. For just right now, we're just going to stay in that preparatory position. Notice your glutes, specifically notice the right side of your glutes. Take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, rise back up, uncross your legs, and we're going to take all of that to the other side. So left leg is going to reach out, right toes swing over to the left side of your mat. Tuck the left knee behind the right. So knees stacked, toes pointing in opposite directions. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Beautiful. When you're ready, rise back up, unwind your legs, curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back to your heels, get a little stretch to the toes, to the bottoms of the feet. And if it feels okay to do so, maybe wiggle your hips a little side to side. Nice. One more little wiggle of the hips side to side. And then when you're ready, lift up into your tabletop position, keep the toes curled under, exhale up to downward facing dog, and take a few good pedals of the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. And then let your dog come into a more static position. So stop moving the feet if it feels right. Let your heart melt towards your thighs. Notice your shoulders, notice your hands, notice your grip. And then if you can, soften the back of your neck, and then we're just going to take a little gentle nod of the head up and down. One more gentle nod of the head up and down. And then let your head come to stillness, soften your knees, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, make some space for your belly and your chest, and then let everything dangle here. If it feels good, grab your elbows so that you can let gravity do a little bit of extra traction work for you. But if it feels more secure to keep the hands on the floor, do the position that feels the best to you here. Notice if your head is slightly lifted or if your gaze is forward. And if so, can you soften the back of your neck? And then we're going to turn the head a little side to side, like you're just shaking your head in that no. And then take it into that nod of the head up and down. One more nod up and down, and then let the crown of your head get super heavy towards the earth. Take one more breath here. Relax your fingers towards the ground, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, take your time as you come up, roll your shoulders down and back, and then give yourself a second as you come to standing to just get yourself all fixed up so that you find mountain pose at the top of your mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, root into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Awesome. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers here, flip the palms, make some space for your shoulder blades, and then let the shoulders soften down away from the ears, firm up your abdomen. So think about pulling your ribs in towards each other. Take one more moment, and then we're going to soften that position. So let your elbows be kind of soft and loose. Raise your arms up and overhead. Make some space for the shoulders first, and then once you feel like you're there, press the palms up towards the ceiling, pull the ribs in towards each other so belly is nice and firm. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to cross the fingers. This time go that weird cross or the opposite way. Press the palms forward, glide the shoulders down, firm up your belly. Soften your elbows, make some space, bring the arms up and overhead. And then once you've found that space for your shoulders, press the palms up towards the ceiling, draw your ribs in towards each other, firm up your belly, take a nice big breath. Unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders down and back. Nice, one more bit of work in the shoulders before we start to find our way to our folds. So take your right hand, reach it behind you, pat yourself on the back, and then see if you can catch hold of that elbow with your other hand, and then just draw yourself deeper into that stretch just to a point that feels good to you. Take one good breath. Nice, and then gently release that elbow, float your arms down, shrug out your shoulders, and we'll take it to the other side. So left hand's gonna reach up and back, pat yourself on the back. If it's available, catch hold of that elbow, draw yourself just a little bit further into that sensation. Awesome, and then let go of that elbow, float your hands down, and just give everything a little shrug. Make sure everything feels okay, and then find your mountain pose again. Root into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften all the way down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften all the way down. And this time we're going to press firm into the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Nice. And we're going to take it a little further here. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you, whatever feels good. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of each leg. Beautiful. And then pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop. Right leg is going to extend out nice and long. Take it into spinal balance. So right leg shoots out, left hand reaches forward, gaze down at the floor, nice and strong through your center. Beautiful. Take one breath. Release all of that down, switch to the other side. Left leg reaches out, right hand reaches forward. Beautiful. Release it down with control. Curl both sets of toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Stepping the right leg back, we're going to come into a low lunge. So bring the knee down, and then if you can, untuck those back toes so the foot is flat on the floor. Once you feel like you're there, hand to the front knee, lift your chest, make sure everything feels stable. Pull that left hip crease back, reach your arms up, look to the sky, take one nice big breath. Right hand's going to reach over to the left knee. We're going to take a gentle twist here. So left hand to the hip, right hand to the knee, rotate to the left, take one breath. Release that twist, hands to the ground. One half splits here. Pull your hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. And then right away, rock yourself forward, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee up. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower gently onto your belly, and we're going to take 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Now we're going to push our way back to a child's pose. So knees together or knees wide, totally up to you. We're going to bring those big toes together, pull the butt back to the heels, stretch long through the arms. Take one nice big breath. Inhale, come up to your tabletop position, curl your toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Left leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down. If you can, release the toes so the foot is flat on the ground. Hand to the front knee, lift your chest. Pull the hip crease back, stabilize your legs, and then once you're there, reach your arms up, look to the sky, take a nice big breath. And then we'll take it into a twist. So left hand's going to reach to the right knee, right hand to the hip, rotate to the right. Take one good breath here. Beautiful. And then release your hands, frame your front foot, one half splits, pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. And then right away, rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, plant your palms, step back to plank, and then right away, bring the knees down, lower gently onto your belly. This time we're going to bend both knees and swish the heels side to side. As you do this little bit of work here, see if you can just tune into the tops of your thighs. You might notice there's a little bit of a massage action that happens with your thighs against the floor. And sometimes it offers up a little soothing to the low back. So just check in and notice how your low back feels. Beautiful. One more switch of those knees side to side, and then float those toes down to the ground. We're going to push our way all the way back to a child's pose. So knees together and knees wide, totally up to you. Bring your butt all the way back to your heels. Reach long through your arms. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, lift up to tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your side. Right hand's going to reach up, pat yourself on the back. Catch that elbow, draw it in, take one good breath. And then if it feels good, add a little side bend. Just lean over to the left. Beautiful. Lift back to center, release that elbow, float your hands down, shrug your shoulders out. Take it to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up, pat yourself on the back. If it feels available, grab the elbow, draw it just a little bit deeper, take a nice big breath. And then if it feels good to do so, add that little side bend, lean over to the right, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Lift up, release your handhold, float your hands down, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, toes tucked to release. This time totally up to you. If you can, inhale, lift your arms up. As you exhale, twist to the left. So right hand's going to find that left knee, left hand to the hip. When you feel ready, release. Hands are going to frame that front foot, 1/2 splits, pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. And then rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, lift your back knee up. Plant your palms, step back to plank, pause in your plank position. Broaden your shoulders, firm up your belly. Beautiful. And then bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows with control. Hug your elbows into your ribs, lower nice and strong down onto your belly. One cobra here, just as high as you like. Exhale up to downward facing dog or through a table to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop position, then to spinal balance. Right leg is going to reach out, left hand is going to reach forward, firm up your center. Release it all back down to your tabletop position, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, left leg back, low lunge, toes tucked or released, totally up to you. Inhale, lift your arms up. When you feel ready, take it into a twist, left hand to the right knee, right hand to the hip. Beautiful. When you're ready, release, frame that front foot, pull it back to your half splits, pull your hips back, peel the front toes up. Lovely. And then rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Plant your palms, step back to plank, pause in your plank. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, strong through the back of the body. Lower yourself with control. One cobra here, just as high as you like. And then exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Beautiful. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop position, spinal balance. Left leg is going to reach out, right hand's going to reach forward, gazing down at the floor. Lovely. Float it down, curl the toes under, exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk, step or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. 3 lifts of the heels here. As you inhale, lift your heels away from the floor. Exhale, float your heels back down. Inhale and lift your heels up. Exhale, float your heels down. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, float your heels down. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, low lunge, bring the knee down, toes tucked or released, totally up to you. Inhale, lift your arms up. From here, if it feels available, you're going to bring your prayer hands to heart center and then maybe take that right elbow across the left knee. So we're going to just see if we can find a deeper twist here. If that hand hold or that proportion doesn't work good for you, just come back to that twist with the hand on the knee. But if it feels okay to be here, pause for a second, find that twist. And then if you want just that little tiny extra bit of challenge, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. Awesome. And then with control, we're going to lower that back knee down, release the back toes, unhook that elbow. Hands are going to frame the front foot, pull back into 1/2 splits, rock yourself back, peel the front toes up, rock yourself forward, pick the back knee up. Beautiful. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Right away, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra, just as high as you like. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Beautiful. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or released, totally up to you. Inhale and lift your arms up. If it feels available, prayer hands to heart center, take that left elbow across the right knee, find that nice good twist. And then if that proportion doesn't work good for you, just come back to the hand on the knee, see what feels best to you here. And then if you've got that little hook, if it feels good to challenge yourself, curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up. Beautiful. And then with control, release that knee back down to the ground, unhook your elbow, frame your front foot, pull it back to half splits, pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, lift your back knee up, plant the palms, step back to plank. Right away, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug elbows into ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale through table or up to down dog, whichever feels good. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Pause here just for a moment. Notice your body, notice your breath. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop position. Take it into spinal balance. Right leg, left arm are going to reach out. Keep that right leg out. Left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Swing your left toes over to the right side of your mat. Tuck your right knee behind. We're coming back to our cow face pose now. So if you like, you'll either take it to that prep position and just work in the glutes, or if you want that extra bit of work, you're going to roll all the way back. So you're sitting back on your hips. You're going to walk those knees in nice and close to each other. Left leg is on top. So we're going to take our strap into our right hand, drop it behind. Left hand's going to reach back. Find your handhold that works good for you. Walk your hands as close as feels right. And then once you've got a handhold that's going to work good for you, keeping that nice uplifted spine, hinging from your hips, you're just going to lean your heart forward to a depth that feels good to you. Take one more breath. Think about lifting up through the top of your head. Let your heart follow. Come up nice and slow. Release your handhold. And then we're going to flippity-do-dah our way up so that we come back into our tabletop position. Uncross the legs. Take a second to bop everything out. Make sure it all feels good. And then we're going to take our spinal balance to the other side. So left leg is going to extend out nice and long. Right hand is going to reach forward. Beautiful. Keep that left leg out and up. Step that right hand down, swing your right toes over to the left side of your mat, left knee behind, tuck it all in, and then come back to that preparatory position or sit all the way back onto your butt. And then just rearrange your knees so they feel like they're in a good position. Now with the right leg on top, left hand's gonna hold onto the strap, or you can go strap free if you have plenty of flexibility. Walking that right hand behind, walk your hands to a nice comfortable position, keeping that nice upright spine. Take a second to find it. Beautiful. And then once you feel like you're there, if it feels good, lean your heart forward. When you feel ready, lift up through the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow. Unlace your arms to start, and then we're going to flippity-doo-dah our way up. Come up into your tabletop position, unlace your legs, and then rock your hips a little side to side. Awesome. And we're going to come back to our half circle. So we're going to slide the left leg back, swing that foot all the way across to the right side of the mat, and then swing the right foot to meet. Open up. So let your left hand reach up and open all the way up. Let the shoulder fall back. Take a nice big breath. Swing it all back around and in. Swing those legs in. Pause for a moment. Reset anything that you need to. And then we'll take it to the other side. So right leg is going to slide back. Swing it all the way over and across. Way past that left corner of the mat. Let your left foot swing to meet and then open up. Reach the right hand up and back. Let the shoulder open up. Beautiful. Bring it all back and in. Find your tabletop position, pause for a moment, and then we're going to take it into a plank position. So if you need to rearrange yourself on your mat, we're going to find that tabletop first, firm up your abdomen, broaden your shoulders, step your feet back to that plank position. Once you've got that high plank position, now we're going to drop the right knee down. Right hand's going to walk in just a little bit. Open up into a side plank. So rotate your hips, reach your hand up. Notice what we're paying attention to here right now is that right shoulder. So notice how that right shoulder feels. Does it feel nice and stable? Could you lift your right leg up, step it to the back end of your mat? If that doesn't feel supported, you're going to bring the knee back down. If it feels great from here, we're going to consider opening up into a wild thing. So we're going to see if it feels good to step that left foot behind you, push into that left foot, reach your hips up to the sky, lift your heart up to the sky, let your left hand reach back just a little bit. Nice. And then with control, we're going to swing it all back around, finding your high plank again. Beautiful. And then see how it feels. Bring the left knee down, walk your left hand in underneath your nose, open up into the side plank to the other side. So with the knee down, what we're paying attention to here is that left shoulder. So if that left shoulder doesn't feel strong and stable, you're going to keep the knee down and stay just as you are. If it feels available, you're going to see how it feels to step that left foot back, finding that nice side plank. And then if it feels really great and you're feeling good and stable, step the right foot behind you, push into that right foot, lift your hips, lift your hand, open up through the whole side of your body. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully, bring it all back into that plank position. Nice. Bring your knees down, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Take it back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels, belly, chest, and forehead melt down. Let everything be soft. Take one more breath here. We're going to keep our butt back to the heels. Walk your hands in. So start to lift your chest away from the ground and then sit back on your heels. We're going to take a gentle heart opener from here. So if it feels good, hands behind you, tall fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest, lift your chin. This might be enough. You might already be there, and this might be a little bit efforting on your knees. So just make sure you pay attention to the variation that feels good. If it feels good and you want just that little bit more, you're going to lift your hips up away from your heels. Press your hips forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, lift your heart, let your head fall back to a comfortable position. Take one good breath. And then when you're ready, with control, release your hips back down, float your hands forward, come up into your tabletop position. Walk your knees in so they're in line with the hips. Take 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. Lovely. One more time. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. Find a neutral spine, and then either crisscross your feet behind you or swing your legs out to one side. But we're going to spin it around so that we're sitting back on our butt with legs out in front of us nice and long. And then once you've got your legs out in front of you nice and long, just take a second to find a little anchor in your sits bones and then pull your toes in toward you and then push your toes away, stretch through the tops of the feet. Pull your toes in toward you, stretch your toes away, stretch to the tops of the feet. Beautiful. One more time. Pull the toes in towards you, reach through your toes, and then find a neutral position with your feet. Bend your knees, scoot your butt forward, curl your tailbone under, and with control, nice and slow and steady, roll your way down to the ground. Awesome. Once you found your way down, give everything a second. Fix up your clothes, let your spine chill out for a second, let your central nervous system just have a moment. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. When you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest, extend your left leg nice and long. With a nice little handhold on that knee, make your little basket weave and then push your knee into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, soften and gently draw the knee into your comfort level. And now we're going to take it into supine twist. So soften your handhold just a little bit. Take that right knee over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Turn your head to the right if that feels good. Take 3 nice big breaths here. When you feel ready, pull the right knee into your chest, bring the left knee into meet, a light little squeeze, and then hold on to your left knee, send your right leg nice and long. Make your little basket weave or get your firm handhold on that left knee. Push your left knee into your hand. Hand is going to resist. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, relax all that. Gently draw the knee into your comfort level. And then release just a little bit so you can take it into your supine twist. Take that left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens wide, head maybe turns to the left if that feels good. When you feel ready, pull that left knee back into your chest, bring the right knee into meet. So both knees hug into the chest, a light little squeeze. And then we're going to release our feet up towards the sky. So coming into our happy baby. So we're going to take the knees out wide, reach your hands up, see if you can catch hold of the blade edges of your feet or your big toes or the backs of your thighs. So you're going to find a handhold that feels really comfortable to you, that allows you to have a little space in your hips. And then once you've got your handhold that works good, think about just kind of snuggling down into your shoulder blades, let your tailbone get soft and heavy. Just take a moment to find that bit of space. And then if you feel like you're there and everything feels good, find a little organic movement, maybe a little gentle rocking side to side, maybe a little playful movement with the feet, with the knees, with the legs, any bit of movement here that feels good. Nice. One more little rock side to side. And then we're going to keep our legs in that fairly happy baby position, but now we're going to release our handhold, elbows to the insides of the knees or the inner thighs. So now we're going to just activate those hip stabilizer muscles so that we can send our hips off into a nice, happy, and stable place. So elbows to the insides of the knees. Knees are going to push in, elbows are going to push out. So we're going to get that active pushing in and out situation. Legs are actively pushing in, elbows are actively pushing out. So you might feel your muscles shake a little bit. Keep that active push, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften up, release, and then take the hands to the outsides of the knees. So hands outside the knees, knees are now going to push out, hands are going to push in. So we're going to find that resistance again. Knees are pushing out, hands are pushing in. Hold that resistance. See if you can hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Release. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, a gentle rock side to side. Nice. And then as you rock side to side here, take a moment to notice. Notice your back, notice your shoulders, notice your head and your neck. We're going to take it into a supported half shoulder stand. If a full blown shoulder stand is in your practice and you know you love it, make sure you just be mindful, head stays straight, and you do the depth of practice that works good for you. If you like a little half supported shoulder stand, you're going to start to see if you can find a little momentum. Take your butt up, and hands are going to support the low back. Check in right away. Head's going to stay facing forward or up towards the ceiling, so we don't want to turn our head in this position. And if this does not feel good to your head and your neck, you're going to come out of it right away. But if it feels okay to be here, you're just going to gently let your knees drop towards your forehead. Take one good breath here. Lovely. And then when you're ready, slowly release everything back down to the ground. Release your hands from your back, float your butt down, set your feet down to the ground, maybe walk it out to that constructive rest position, and then pause for a second to notice. Notice how your body feels. If you came across anything in your neck or your shoulders, and maybe take a second to just turn your head a little side to side, make sure it all feels good. And then ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. If you're in a cold space, take a second to get your socks, your sweater, your blanket, get yourself nice and cozy. Especially since we did more heated practice, you might be a little bit warm and maybe a little bit sweaty. So make sure that you keep yourself a little bit warm for your Shavasana so you don't come out feeling all cold and shivering and achy. So find your Shavasana from here. Find a good position of the body that allows you to find a little stillness. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wake up your fingers, gently wake up your toes. Take a moment to notice your breath. And then invite some bigger movements in. Move your wrists, move your ankles, maybe move your knees, maybe move your hips. Notice your breath. And then if it feels really good to do so, take it into a big good morning stretch. Reach your arms up and overhead, reach your legs nice and long. Stretch through your fingers and your toes. Take a nice big giant breath back into your body. And then in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe coming back up to Sukhasana. We're going to do just a last little bit of breath work. So just make sure that you have access to a tall spine and a little opening in your chest. Nice. And then as you come up to that comfortable seat, just take a second to wiggle into your sits bones. We're going to take the left hand reaching across right underneath the collarbones, put a little gentle press on, draw a couple of circles in one direction, draw a couple of circles the other way, and then take it over to the other side. Reach your right hand across, find that little space or groove right underneath your collarbone, draw a couple of circles in one direction, and then draw a couple of circles the other way. Nice. And then bring the hands together. Fire up your palms. Get them nice and good and hot. Once you feel like your hands are nice and good and hot, open your hands up like a book. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Touch the space between your shoulder blades, and then gently glide your hands toward your heart. Flip them out. Bring your hands back together. Fire up your palms. Get them nice and good and hot. Inhale, open your hands up like a book. Reach them up and overhead. Touch the space between your shoulders. Glide your hands toward your heart. Flip them out. And then bring them back together. Fire up your palms one last time. Get them nice and good and hot. Once you feel like your palms are nice and good and hot, open your hands. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Touch the space between your shoulder blades. Gently glide your hands toward your heart. Flick them out. And then bring your hands back to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Thumbs to sternum. Bow your head to your heart. Take a nice, generous inhale. Fill your lungs up all the way up to the collarbones. Take a nice, generous inhale. See if you can feel breath through the back of your body. And take one more nice, generous inhale. See if you can notice the breath in your armpits. Take another inhale, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everybody you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday. I was about to say happy Tuesday because I'm like, oh, we get to do this again. But happy Thursday.